What's up, Newark? My name is Jhamar Youngblood, artist, techie, and most important, Newark native. I attended Dartmouth College for grad school, where I studied how local governments operate around the world. And in 2015, I returned home with many ideas that I know can help improve our city. I plan to share them with you all in this documentary. Our city is full of interest in history, and to understand where we're going, I spent weeks at the Newark Public Library learning about all of the people who got us where we are today. Enjoy. Before any streets or buildings, the Lenape lived along the Passaic, moving with the seasons and caring for the land. In 1666, the Puritans from Connecticut arrived looking for religious freedom. The Lenape welcomed them, but the agreements did not hold. The land was taken, and as the settlement expanded, more darker-skinned residents arrived to build the economy the settlers claimed for themselves. From the very beginning, Newark was a contested place shaped by struggle over land, labor, power, and who gets to call this city home. As Newark grew into a town, survival was not easy. Settlers faced harsh winters, bad harvests, and disputes over land ownership. When the British Crown demanded heavy taxes without giving local farmers a voice, white Newark residents pushed back. During the 1740s, a rebellion led by local farmers protested unfair debts and corrupt land practices. Newarkers demanded fairness from the powerful rulers in England. The spirit of resistance was planted early, and it never left. In the 1800s, Newark turned into an industrial engine. Factories produced leather, jewelry, beer, iron, and furniture at a scale few American cities could match. Invention drove the growth. Newark manufacturers created new techniques, new products, and new supply chains, then shipped them all across the world. Local banks printed their own currency to keep commerce moving when national systems were unstable. Newark wasn't just reacting to the country, it was building its own economy, its own tools, and its own infrastructure because no one else was going to do it for them. In 1836, Newark officially became a city. William Halsey served as the first mayor, helping shape Newark's early government. Theodore Frelinghuysen, a U.S. senator and one of Newark's most prominent early leaders, became nationally known for speaking out against slavery in Congress at a time when many political leaders stayed silent out of fear or self-interest. Even when unpopular, Newark's conscience always seemed to find a voice. By the late 1800s, Newark was a city of ambition. Tiffany & Co. built luxury in Newark's workshops. Prudential Insurance grew into a national giant, promising security in uncertain times. And Thomas Edison started several companies here, using Newark's energy and workers to spark the electrical revolution. Newark was not only part of America's progress, it helped invent it. Newark's early leaders believed that knowledge was power. In 1864, the city appointed James Baxter, a black educator, to lead the Negro School. Even within the racist system, the decision showed Newark was willing to invest in the future of all its people. By 1888, Newark expanded that belief into a public mission. The Newark Library opened so every resident, rich or poor, could educate themselves. Soon after, the Newark Museum was founded as a public institution meant to make art, science, and culture accessible to city residents. Learning became a vital part of Newark's identity, woven into the way the city saw its role in people's lives. In 1913, Noble Drew Ali arrived in Newark and founded the first version of what would become the Moorish Science Temple of America. His work marked one of the earliest organized black spiritual and cultural movements in the city, shaping identity and community at a time when black Newarkers were fighting for space, dignity, and opportunity. By the 1920s, Newark was one of America's great cities. The opening of Newark Airport in 1928 placed the city on the map as a gateway to the world. Thomas L. Raymond, the city's first Irish mayor, helped drive this growth. The Irish had built political strength by organizing churches, labor unions, and tight neighborhood alliances. Raymond understood that true power came from connecting with working people, not just the wealthy. But the prosperity did not last. The Great Depression hit Newark hard. Factories closed and jobs vanished. And by 1913, Newark had lost nearly half the share of New Jersey's jobs that it once had. The wealth built by decades of work began slipping away. At the same time, more black residents from the Jim Crow South poured into Newark during the Great Migration, hoping for better jobs, better schools, and better lives. What they found were shrinking opportunities and growing walls. Redlining kept black families from buying homes in many neighborhoods, and factories moved outward into suburbs that refused to allow black workers to live nearby. The journey north wasn't an escape from Jim Crow. It was running into a different version of it, built into housing, work, and daily life. Leaders like Oliver Randolph, the first black person to pass the New Jersey bar and a respected attorney, rose to challenge these injustices. They fought for civil rights, voting rights, and equal treatment in a city that made every step forward an uphill battle. By the 1950s, Newark's black population had grown to 75,000, while more than 100,000 white residents had left the city. And despite the drastic population shift, City Hall continued to give Newark's black residents little voice in decision-making. Public housing where black residents live crumbled. Schools where black residents attended remained underfunded. Police harassment grew, and tension was building fast, but Newark's political leaders continued to look the other way. But even in hard times, Newark did not stop dreaming. Rutgers expanded its campus downtown, giving new life to education in the city. Anheuser-Busch made an investment in Newark, signaling a continued commitment to the city's economic growth. The investment was expected to create jobs, strengthen the local supply chain, and reaffirm the company's long-standing presence in the region. But despite the new investments, working residents knew the political system was still broken. Since 1917, Newark had been run by a commission government. This means that 5 commissioners controlled the city's departments and chose the mayor themselves. There were no direct elections for mayor, and this allowed political machines to dominate without truly answering to residents. Over those decades, mayors such as Meyer C. Ellenstein, the city's first Jewish mayor, Ralph Villani, Newark's first Italian-American mayor, and Vincent J. Murphy, a former labor leader, were chosen by their fellow commissioners, reflecting the influence of ethnic blocs in organized labor rather than the direct will of the people. But 1954 marked a turning point. That year, Newark took a step towards democracy by allowing voters to directly elect their mayor for the first time in nearly 40 years. Leo P. Carlin became the face of that change. And alongside him, Irvin Turner made history as Newark's first black city council member, signaling a new era of political possibility for our city's black residents.
Yeah, I want to open this in private. It's a letter from the city. Let's sit over here. Wow, we did it. My office has checked the petitions of nomination which you submitted to run for the office of Central Ward Council Member in the November 4th, 2025 special municipal election. As a result, I write to inform you that you have submitted a sufficient number of petitions to be certified for the placement on the ballot for the election. I congratulate you on your accomplishment. We did it, y'all. Look, y'all, it's real. I have 7 younger sisters. I grew up with about 5 woman cousins. Woman cousins, is that the right thing to say? I'm not saying female. Female is not, I learned female is not a good way.
Women, so stick with
Yeah,
women.
okay,
So
yep.
you grew up with 7 women cousins?
No, I have 7 younger sisters, and I have about, I think it's like, yeah, I think I have about 8 cousins I grew up with on both sides of my family that I just like used to spend time with.
On like a regular basis, like
Yeah,
15
yeah.
women or 16 women all the
Seriously,
time.
just hanging out. So when it comes to the DSA, we are clearly the most progressive candidate in the city council race. But they're looking for us to get more progressive.
I don't think we're already on that though. It's more so they want to know what are we saying about it. Their whole thing is workers' rights. You know, like that's their primary thing that they advocate for.
Oh, okay, I see.
Part of your parallel theory and your, if they read through your entire policy, you talk about workers owning.
That's what I'm saying. I fuck with the workers, B.
You talk about workers owning.
I fuck with the workers,
I
like.
think
literally-
it's more so pulling it out, like, and I have to do that, like pull it out to make it clear and like bullet points, like where's the workers?
He just talks down on socialism, but he has some really good points from
The beginning of the listen.
in the Substack, you
It says
actually,
it.
said social. I was shocked.
He's triggered. It's his trigger word.
shocked.
Don't say socialism. Dude.
Yo, y'all,
Like,
he
put
trying
it
to
in
troll
the
me.
first paragraph in the Substack.
He trying to troll me.
I'm telling you that you were triggered.
Bro, I'm everything.
Oh, we were.
I'm everything.
I'm everything. What the freak?
How
Don't
are
y'all
you
understand?
a capitalist?
No, but
I believe
but he has
people
a point,
have-
though.
yeah.
Socialism is not well received
No.
here in North.
No.
So he doesn't want to use it, but he knows. He just.
Do we want to win an election or do we want to make y'all little lefty friends happy? Yeah, that was a good soundbite.
Okay, first
That was
of
a
all,
good
there's overlap
soundbite.
there. There's overlap there.
Like, could you probably try to see if they know where we can set up?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Monica.
That's that's what I mean by investigation.
Yeah, you want to leave the sign or you want to
No,
take
no,
it?
no,
Are you going to
no.
take it? All right. All right. No, you're good. You're good. It's just those people have been sassy to me in the past, so.
Who's been sassy?
Most people in Newark have been just sassy with me because I've been around and
It's
like,
hard for me to see that because I'm just like I feel like you're very. Oh.
okay,
Oh, okay.
you didn't even hear what she said.
She got a bathroom out of the
Oh.
my eyesight is terrible. My hearing is 100.
No, it's just because I be by myself. When you by yourself, you don't get as much respect or it's easy for people to disrespect you because there's no repercussions.
What do you mean disrespect? Just not.
I'm sensitive to
interested.
energy, so I take lying,
You know,
I take
like,
ghosting.
People like myself who are on the spectrum, you know, we can be like a little bit rejection sensitive.
Yeah, I am. But no, but it's more like integrity sensitive too.
Okay.
And then it's like, okay, you ghosted me before.
But that's not cool. The ghosting is not cool. Like
The
people
ghost-
should be able to communicate what they like if they really want to be a part of this or not. Or if
But
they-
now those same people would see me because I'm running for council. They give me dirty looks.
I know it's still $1.
I just got the first official copy of my new book, How to Run for Political Office as a Young Independent, a practical guide for first-time candidates running without the machine. The back says, running for political office without party backing takes guts. There's no playbook, no big donors, and no safety net. Just your vision and the people who believe in it. This book is a practical guide for first-time candidates who want to run with purpose, not for power. No fluff, no hype, just real steps for building a campaign from the ground up. If you're serious about leading your community and challenging the machine, this book is for you. It's probably one of the most impressive things I've done in my life, yo. Just sharing the game with the youth, man. What else would I be doing? What else would I be doing in my life?
Let me ask you, what else would you be doing?
Trying to earn a bunch of wealth to do the same thing I'm doing now. That's the thing, like it always was the
really
same.
hoping that's what you were gonna say.
Seriously.
What you're doing right now, you would just still be doing it.
Because like my mission before was to see how much wealth I can get and use that money to help people. And it was very specific. It was like, I just want $1 billion so I can use $1 billion to create programs. The annual budget of Newark is like $1 billion. How you doing, Gal?
Hello, sir.
Nice to see you.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll, baby.
And thank you for being here tonight. My name is Terrence Basin, and it is an honor to serve as your moderator for the Central Ward election, special election, occurring in November of 2025. You guys excited about that?
Yes.
Jhamar is an activist and entrepreneur who has worked on grassroots campaigns and community building efforts throughout Newark. He is a part of a new generation of leadership that emphasizes innovation, accountability, and bridging generational divides.
I prepared the statement for everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jhamar Youngblood. I am 37 years old. I grew up right here in the Central Ward. In 2015, I returned from Dartmouth College after studying how local governments operate around the world. I came back home because I knew I had ideas that could help improve our city. One of my core beliefs is that a fully transparent government is possible here in Newark. We just need sensible laws and better systems. And this past May, I presented a law to our council members that will require City Hall to share how they are spending public money. I think it's a vital first step that will enable residents to hold our local government accountable. Yeah, so Article 1, Section 2 of the New Jersey Constitution says all political power comes from the people. All political power is inherent in the people. Government is instituted for the protection, security, benefit of the people, and they have the right at all times to alter or reform it whenever the public good may require it. We need to put that to the test. I'm proposing a dashboard of all government data, spending, crime, everything, so you have the data, so you feel equipped to hold our local government accountable. The reason you have trouble holding the government accountable is because you don't have the information. I want to give all of the information to the public so you see how the government is spending money, the decisions they make, everything. You deserve it all. So that's my idea to hold the government accountable by giving you the data. We need to innovate. One of the ideas I'm proposing is a Yelp style platform where we can review every city department. Anyone who receives tax dollars, you as residents should be able to review their service. So think of a Yelp style platform where you can just basically review everyone. So if it's trash cleaning and the street's not clean, you can go review them. If it's customer service, anyone in City Hall, you should be able to review their service and put them on blast if they're not doing their job. Of all the jobs in Newark, only 20% of those jobs are going to Newark residents. My idea is to build a public economy that can rival the private economy, because so many businesses are just taking money from our city and they are bringing it back to their city to pay taxes. I'm proposing a public economy that is partially owned by residents, partially owned by the government. So these could be restaurants, food stores, these could be manufacturing shops, these could be anything we think that we can generate money from. Then that way that we can not only set the prices, we then can provide jobs to our local residents. If this data is available to y'all, then y'all can make the complaints, we take your complaints, and we go create the legislation needed to create change. I'm gonna keep repeating the same thing I keep saying. We need to give residents access to the data. We spend $225 million on the police, and I can make the argument that money isn't the problem. So the problem is the access is that the community members are not involved because you don't know how many crimes there are. You don't know where the crimes are. So imagine if you had this public dashboard that's giving you all the crime stats, all the data on crime in your neighborhood, all the data on crime in surrounding neighborhoods. I think you would feel more equipped to come up with the solutions. I'm almost certain that the people in here and the people I talk to every day are smarter than the people in City Hall. And I promise you, you have ideas, but you need the data to come up with better ideas, and that's what I'm proposing. I want to give you access to as much data as I legally can. We all know these guns are not just coming from us. We're not creating these guns. We're not shipping these guns. So that's a national discussion that we need to talk about. How are these guns getting in our community? So that's above what my job is as a council member, but I would use my influence to speak on these high-level issues that should be solved by the state and the federal government. I am an artist, and I can tell you most of the people who are in control of Newark Arts, many of them are not from Newark, and Newarkers have a lot of problems getting access to some of the resources that Newark Arts provides. So that's number one. We need to invest in our own. And the second thing is, there's no reason why Newark should not be the amateur sports capital of the world. We have resources like Shakur Stevenson, Shaquille O'Neal, we have JFK. We should use every resource we have to build some type of infrastructure for youth sports where people are traveling all over the world to come watch youth sports right here in Newark. For me, talking to seniors also have a problem with only getting attention when it's time to vote. So during election season, I think that's the main issues our seniors have. But we also need to be innovative in how we solve most of our problems. Right now, there is an intergenerational gap where our youth are being led by other youth. When I was younger, I spent so much time with my grandparents, and that's why I think I am the way I am today. We need to get our seniors and our youth together. Maybe we pay the youth to go hang out with the seniors a few times a week so they can just get some of that wisdom and some of that knowledge, but we need to be innovative in solving some of these problems. And that's one of my ideas, is connecting the youth and the seniors, getting them together. We need to make it a priority to engage with our seniors. I would be engaging with our seniors more if I was allowed in some of these senior buildings. I always get kicked out every time I go, so we need to make it a priority. The same way we invest in the arts and everything else, we need to make it a priority. And if I'm elected, I have a lot of energy. I will be hanging out with the seniors every single week, that's for sure. I'm just a nerd. I love my city and I have ideas. That's simple. And when you look at some of those buildings that's being put up, you talk about buildings that have enough voting power to really sway elections. So if we don't get our youth involved, the next generation involved in local politics, I fear that we are going to lose the majority of voting power in our city. So my main mission is to inspire our youth and make local politics cool for our youth so Newark could remain the Newark that we all grew up knowing Newark to be. We lack leaders who can combine intelligence, integrity, and innovation. We need to be innovative on how we generate new revenue so your taxes don't go up year after year. Another thing we do, we rely on the federal government for so much of our money. That's not sustainable, because one year you got Donald Trump. Next year you're going to get another Obama. We can't keep doing that. We need to have some type of sustainability in our city, and I think that's going to start with giving the power back to the people, as the Constitution says. Jhamar Youngblood, 1F. Thank you. Yo, vote 1F. We had a great forum, I think. It was my first one. We have another one next week, so I'm going to be better prepared. I'm going to be more polished. I'm going to memorize some of my answers, some of my responses. Hello. How you doing, sir? How you doing? How you doing? Yep.
Friend of mine is a big fan of you.
Okay, yeah.
About you all the
That's
time.
cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah, go back 40 years.
Oh, really? Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, again, I have a radical idea, and that's building a public economy that really compete with the private economy, because it's all about economics. It's all about economics. We just getting priced out. We can't afford it. They trying to make it the next Brooklyn, the next Harlem, the next Queens. Like, they're trying. I think we need a public economy where maybe people don't even need USD to survive. We can create our own, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like our Constitution give us the authority. We just got to be creative and innovative. That's all I'm trying to do. Just bring some, and the funny thing is, they're doing some of these things in other municipalities. So it's like, why can't we do it? It's all because people want control in City Hall. That's what it's been for so long. It's control of the money, control of the resources. That's why I think we have to empower the people. Because one person's not going to do it. I'm not about to go in there and save everything, but if everybody got the data and you got 300 people going to City Hall with the data and with the facts, that's how things change.
So we're going to have two different sections with regards to the debate. With the first section, each candidate will get their own respective question.
I have to tell you this. I have an emergency, and I'm going to suspend my campaign. Like people are saying that Ms. Bay have a lot of people backing her. I'm a district leader. The district leaders are backing her also. I'm competing against her, but hey, I'm gone, so there she is.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Mr. Youngblood, you're up.
So y'all gonna get tired of me saying this, but I'm going to release the data specifically so I can see how much y'all paid this young man to just do that. That was weird. That was weird.
And also, look at this, they pulling, bro. This is politics. This politics in Newark, people.
Can we stop, please? Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen,
You know where it's coming from. That should not be tolerated.
ladies and gentlemen, we only have 15 minutes left in this forum, and these candidates who are still on the stage should get your respect. Should get your respect. Okay? So I'm asking that we be allowed to finish. We're not going to let a candidate or anyone disperse what we're doing. Yeah, that's what I just said. That I just said that. That is what I just said. Mr. Jacobs, Mr. Jacobs. Ladies and gentlemen, we would ask that you be respectful and flexible. Thank you.
You still have 15 seconds, Mr. Youngblood.
And as far as policy, I presented
a transparency ordinance to the council members back in May. So President Crump, I'm still waiting for a response on that. I'm still waiting for a response. I gave it to all of you, and it's on camera, and I'm going to post it on my social media tonight.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
But one thing is clear, money has been allocated to help residents, but so many say that they don't see the impact. So before you all leave office next year, we ask that you help us uncover where that money is going so we can ensure that the tax dollars are being used effectively. And with that said, I am introducing to the council the first version of an ordinance and a resolution designed to build trust between City Hall and the residents of Newark. The ordinance, called the Full Transparency Ordinance, will allow residents to easily search online and see how their tax dollars are being spent. And the resolution will give Newark residents a voice in deciding how some of their tax dollars are allocated. So thank you all for your time, and I would love to get this ordinance and resolution to you all. And if anyone in the audience wants a copy, I have an extra. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Sylvester, if you can get a copy of the ordinance, thank you.
In the 1800s and early 1900s, Newark's mayors mostly came from the city's white professional and business class, lawyers, manufacturers, and local businessmen. As immigration reshaped Newark, new groups fought for political space. Irish organizers continued to build power through labor unions, neighborhood clubs, and the Catholic Church. German American leaders rose through industry, trade networks, and civic associations. Jewish mayors later pushed reform, education, and modern economic development. And Italian mayors strengthened their base through tight neighborhood alliances, union leadership, and community institutions. These communities organized their way into political power, but they stepped into a system where corruption was already established and would keep shaping Newark's leadership for decades. By the summer of 1967, the pressure on Black Newarkers had reached a breaking point. For decades, Black residents had pushed for representation and basic rights, yet real power remained out of reach. City leadership continued to exclude Black communities from decision-making. Broken promises, police brutality, unsafe housing, and economic exclusion compounded year after year. Newark did not erupt because people wanted chaos. It erupted because silence was no longer survivable. The 1967 rebellion was not the beginning of Newark's decline. It was a demand to be seen, heard, and treated as full citizens after generations of being ignored by their own government. In 1970, Newark changed history forever. Kenneth Gibson became the first Black mayor of a major northeastern city. Born in Alabama and raised in Newark's Central Ward, Gibson rose from public housing to become the city's chief engineer. He was quiet, deliberate, and deeply respected for his professionalism. He represented a new kind of leadership, grounded in technical expertise and a new form of political performance that operated through government institutions rather than mass confrontation. Gibson's greatest accomplishment was restoring stability to a city on the brink. In the aftermath of the 1967 rebellion, Newark faced white flight, industrial collapse, and deep mistrust in government. It is reported that Gibson brought in over $100 million in federal funding, revamped the city's health department, and hired Black professionals to lead departments that had historically excluded them. He helped launch University Heights, reinforcing higher education as a pillar of Newark's long-term revival. But critics said Gibson didn't go far enough. They argued he managed Newark's decline instead of challenging the systems behind it. Still, for many, his very presence in City Hall changed the story of what was possible. The modern era of Newark politics begins with a fight. Kenneth Gibson broke history in 1970 when he became the first Black mayor of a major northeastern city. His win was powered by the Black Freedom Movement, civil rights organizers, and residents who were tired of being shut out of their own government. Gibson promised honest leadership, professionalism, and a city that finally worked for all of the people who lived in it. But power in Newark never stayed still. By the mid-1980s, a young, ambitious councilman named Sharp James began challenging Gibson directly, and their rivalry split the city.
1986, people were knocking on my door. When are you going to run for mayor, Sharp? Run for mayor? Ken Gibson is my mentor. Ken Gibson is my confidant. Ken Gibson is my friend. Sharp, he's tired. It's time for, they came up with a slogan, a sharp change. time for a sharp change.
Gibson represented steadiness and reform. James represented energy, presence, and street-level connection. Norkers chose Sharp James, turning away from slow, incremental reform in favor of a charismatic fighter who promised urgency instead of patience. Sharp James entered City Hall in 1986 like a man on a mission.
In the words of the late Speaker of the House, Tip O'Neill, all politics is local. And we should remember that our challenge as elected officials is to provide for honest, effective, responsive, and capable leadership.
Born in Florida and raised in Newark South Ward, he built his reputation as a teacher, coach, and councilman who knew almost every block. James didn't govern from behind a desk. He showed up at basketball games, barbecues, and block parties. He was visible, and he made people feel seen. His biggest accomplishment was reshaping the downtown section of the city. He pushed for the Prudential Center, NJ Pack, new housing developments like Society Hill, and renovated parks. He said that when he left office, Newark had an $85 million surplus, a stable economy, and momentum for continued growth. But his time in office ended with a very different headline.
They said I provided a steeply discounted price for a close personal friend. Judge Martinez disputed that. Every witness disputed that. That's not true. The mayor did not set the price in the city of Newark, municipal government, under Plan C form of government. Mayor does not set the price. Mayor doesn't sell property. I couldn't give my mother, my father, my brother, anyone any property. It's against the law. What I was charged with, legally I could not commit.
To critics, he was the peak of machine politics. To supporters, he was remembered as the mayor who fought for working residents and tried to revive a struggling city.
Hey! I'm chilling. What's up, bro? How are you? I'm chilling. Yeah, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
Making it look easy.
I know, you feel me?
This guy, man, he's a legend, bro. Like, I know in our generation we use that legend word very loosely. You know, some people aren't legends, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But he's a legend for this shit, bro. Like, that's how fire he is, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, but on a serious note, like, bro really was like, yo, I got this idea. I'm thinking it's gonna be about another, you know what I'm saying? Like an app he about to use and it's gonna shake shit up. You know what I'm saying? And he like, nah, it's not another app, bro. It's like, I wanna run for council, bro. Like, I wanna try to run the city. I wanna help people. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people be like, yo, making promises and shit. Bro, just like, nah, it's just something I wanna do.
So I had to travel all the way to Princeton to read these two books right here. See, this is what I mean. So when I was at Dartmouth, I used to always play squash. And look, apparently this is in our YMCA. But when I went down to the YMCA, they didn't show me the squash courts. Yeah, we gotta bring squash back to Newark, man. 1975, this list was created, and they have Newark Board of Education number 2. But in 2025, I'm sure Newark Board of Education will not be number 2. So Prudential listed 103 reasons to believe in Newark's future.
Newark is the unhealthiest city, 1832.
So in a matter of 50 years, our education system went from something that people praise to what it is today. Number 1, Newark Boys Chorus School. What the hell is that? Number 4, they have Newark Citywide Talent Search. In 1975, what was a Newark Citywide Talent Search?
Oh my gosh, music. Newark was pumping out gospel music.
That's probably how Whitney Houston got discovered. Number 5, Newark Community Center of the Arts. What else is interesting on here? Number 57, they have the Hispanic Emergency Council. Number 82, Puerto Rican Congress of New Jersey. The 103rd thing listed on here was Youth in Action basketball team. I was talking to Cory Booker.
You on the porch on 20th Street.
It's going in the documentary.
You was standing right there. You was like, you gonna put some basketball courts up?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, mama. Hey, how you doing? What's up, man? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, how you doing? How you doing? Thank you, thank you.
I think Sharp was one of the greatest mayors for this city. He actually, and I'm only saying that regardless to what scandal, because I don't know nothing about those scandals. I know what they claim, but people worked. People had jobs.
Yeah.
It wasn't hard. If you went to him and said you needed a job, you got a job. And he made sure the people in the city had jobs. They were, people in the city was flourishing. I even worked for the city at that point. I didn't stay. I should have stayed. I wish I had stayed. But people actually had jobs, and he cared. If you saw that man somewhere and you said, I've seen him go in his pocket and give people.
That's what I'm gonna do. When I'm elected, I'm gonna be cashing my city checks, and I'm gonna be like, here.
Well, you can't do that because somebody gonna always be, and the same one's gonna be running to you. You don't say you're gonna be here.
No, I'm gonna be like, you got some last time. I gave you some. What'd you do with it?
Well, no, you just go buy them something to eat. Don't go here.
All right, fair.
You go and say, well, I got their food, or you can go and buy food or pay for food earlier and just say this is for the next people that come.
That's my problem. I just be giving away money like, here, take that.
No, take that. Leave that to the person that say take that. Okay.
So I'm on my way to Millburn, New Jersey right now. I'm headed to the Lackawanna Coalition meeting to speak on behalf of a couple of residents. And they get in after 12 a.m. So if the main exit at New Jersey Penn Station is closed, then they have to walk all the way around. This forces them to miss their bus. Imagine coming from New York and trying to get to Newark Airport. And then you go and you realize that the main exit is closed. So you have to walk all the way around to get to the front. That's really confusing. Imagine if you order an Uber and you order it to the wrong exit, you have to walk all the way around. So I'm on my way to Millburn right now to speak to someone about it. Let's see what happens. It's going to Millburn, right? Gotcha.
Customer advocate for New Jersey Transit.
Jhamar Youngblood, candidate for City Council in Newark Central Ward. I'm on my way back to Newark, and let's just say I learned a lot tonight. I learned about the Lackawanna Coalition. I knew about them for a few weeks now, but I was happy to put some faces behind some of those names I've been reading about. And they're just a nonprofit, and they represent transit riders. I was lucky because, again, I was able to meet the customer advocate for NJ Transit. So going to get a meeting with him and, see how it goes. Who closes a main entrance to a main train station from 12 a.m. to 4:30 a.m., especially when there's an airport, when there's different private bus companies that's taking residents all over the city, especially when there's Greyhounds and people traveling from all over. They don't know Newark Penn Station. They don't know how to get to different exits. So if they get off on Raymond and it's closed, What do they do? Come on, NJ Transit. We got to do better. So, I don't know. I'm just trying to help residents and people visiting the city have an amazing experience in Newark. So, that's why I went to Melbourne tonight, and hopefully we can figure this out.
Cory Booker stepped into Newark politics as an outsider, a move that was striking in a city where leaders were usually homegrown. He brought a new style, blending politics with the energy of a public storyteller.
And I'll never forget my first month there. I was walking down the street, and these people that ran that street-level drug trade, and right in front of the projects and some of the other dilapidated housing in the neighborhood, one of those guys jumped off his perch and threatened my life. He said, if you ever so much as look at me again or walk down this side of the street, I'm going to bust a cap in your posterior region. And I look at this guy, and you have to understand that, I'm a former, college football player who could have gone to the pros if I wanted to. But I looked at this guy who was stepping at me, and I said, okay, just don't hurt me. and I walked away really quickly. And this is the truth. His nickname on the street was T-Bone, and I'm a vegetarian, so that was particularly scary.
Born and raised in Harrington Park, New Jersey, with parents employed at IBM, Booker went on to study at Stanford, Oxford, and Yale. He became known for moving into Brick Towers, a notorious public housing complex, positioning himself as a candidate who wanted to understand the city through the daily reality of its residents. But many residents were skeptical. Critics questioned whether he truly lived there or used it as a backdrop for a political narrative. As the Central Ward councilman, he ran against Sharp James for mayor in 2002 and lost, but the race turned bitter and personal.
Cory Booker does not have a vested interest in this city. He doesn't own anything. He's a Johnny-come-lately. He doesn't understand the politics of this town. And just because you come in as some golden boy and you happen to get lucky and win one election does not mean that you've got a handle on what's going on. People that live here and have a vested interest in our city know that Sharp James is doing a great job for this city.
Sharp James trying to get credit for something that he ain't even do. He ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? If he was right here, I told him in his face.
Okay, just don't blame this on Sharp, because I know what's already here. I don't know what I'm getting if Booker gets in.
Why you gonna blame it on Sharp? Cory's the councilman. If he can do it, Cory's gonna drop him right in our neighborhood. Sharp James, Sharp James, what does Sharp James do? What does Sharp James do?
But when the next election arrived, Sharp James chose not to run again, and Cory Booker won decisively in 2006. His win brought national attention, along with celebrities, tech leaders, and private money. His biggest accomplishment was turning that spotlight into new private investments into the city. He secured corporate deals and helped bring companies like Audible and Panasonic to Newark. He also modernized city government, implemented new data tools, and attracted a younger workforce. But despite all of that, his legacy is complicated. He secured the $100 million donation from Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg to overhaul Newark's public school system, aiming to implement sweeping reforms such as new teacher contracts and changes to school leadership. However, the rollout was widely criticized for lacking community input, offering limited transparency, and allocating most of the funds to consultants instead of classrooms, raising lasting questions about whether the primary beneficiaries were Newark students or Booker's political and professional allies. Booker's supporters hailed the effort as visionary. Others felt the funding went to everywhere except to the students it was supposed to help. Residents felt deceived once again. And there were also scandals. Booker's deputy mayor was convicted of corruption for helping one company get demolition jobs and pressuring other companies not to compete. The arrest cast a shadow over Booker's reformist image. And while he was often seen promoting Newark, critics said he was more focused on cable news appearances and preparing for higher office than showing up for Newark residents.
We call him the virtual mayor. You can see him on television and radio and
different kinds of trips, but in terms of a hands-on leadership, there's not been much of that. I mean, you have these kind of fantastic ideas like he goes to save a dog, or he goes to save a woman from a fire, or things like that, or he lives in the projects, or he lives, or he's on food stamps for a week, those kind of things. That's all sort of, I'd say, semi-fiction.
To some, he brought Newark into the future. To others, he was just passing by on his way to Washington.
My approach to creating this was, what could I possibly do? Like, what was in my control as a legit council person? Because I'm not trying to come in and like promise people things that I can't deliver. So this was a real practical and intentional doc where I had to think about, okay, what is in my control? And the first thing I thought was in my control was the same thing I spoke about last month at our city council meeting, was the transparency aspect. The second step was, okay, now let's get ambitious. Now let me use my background in technology. Let me use some of other people's background in urban planning and urban designing. Like, now let's get ambitious, because Newark historically has been an innovative city. Thomas Edison's first factory was here. That's where this plan started from in my mind, and I just geeked out over it for like a month or so, just studying, tweaking it to the point where I said, okay, it's ready to be presented to the people. So this is not set in stone. None of this here is set in stone. This is my first time getting it out to the people to get feedback on it. And once I get enough feedback on it where we debated, we went through it, then I'm gonna take it to the public. So this is not a Democrat thing, this is not a Republican thing, this is a sensible thing.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Don't touch me.
Jhamar Youngblood.
Good evening.
My name is Jhamar Youngblood. Last month, I came up here to talk about the economic pressure residents in our city are facing. I spoke about how wages are not keeping up with the cost of living. I also pointed out how outsiders profit from Newark while our own residents continue to struggle. And lastly, I called for real transparency, because even though our city budget continues to grow, residents continue to ask the same question: if the money is being spent, why don't we feel or see the results? But tonight, I want to talk about something urgent: the rising debt crisis across the country and how a group of Newarkers is stepping up to respond. As of April 2025, the United States is $37 trillion in debt. In Washington, the response has been to cut spending, raise tariffs, and change how we trade with the world. I bring this up because our city is carrying hundreds of billions in debt ourselves. And with the recent shutdown of city organizations like Newark happening, it looks like we've already started laying off residents to save money. So if we're following a national trend of laying off employees to cut costs, we also need to be honest about what that means for how we run the city. Because it's only a matter of time before outside consultants come in and recommend using artificial intelligence to cut even more costs. And as someone with a tech background, I want to come back up here next month and share my thoughts on how we can use AI to ease the impact of the layoffs. So this past weekend, a group of residents and supporters came together to build something we are calling Newark 30. Newark 30 is a real plan to make Newark self-sufficient and fully transparent by the year 2030. The goals are simple and clear. First, we want to protect Newark's culture so its history and the people of the city stay at the center of our progress. Second, we want to invest in our residents so everyone has the tools and skills they need to live a quality life. And third, we want to raise the standards for how our city operates because residents deserve more than what they're getting today. And to promote transparency, we want residents to have full access to city decisions, spending, and operations. To protect ourselves from unstable federal aid, we want to build our own public economy through city-backed services like housing, food, and medicine. We also want to invest directly in our residents by preparing them for jobs and future industries while creating local ownership of businesses and public assets through co-ops. Newark 30 is about giving every resident a clear pathway to economic stability and opportunity while designing a system that works for everyone. And our plan is open to every resident and supporter of Newark so they can contribute their ideas and be a part of this change. So if you visit newark30.org, you can read the full plan and leave your ideas and comments right on the page. We believe it's time for the people of Newark to step up and come together collectively to build the future we deserve. We welcome help from outsiders, but they can't be the only ones designing the future of our city. And we can't rely on Washington alone to save us. That's why we're creating a clear direction for where our city needs to go. So to every council member here and to every resident listening, we ask that you visit newark30.org and join the conversation. Read the plan, add your ideas, and be a part of the work we're doing to build a better Newark.
Because this city belongs to all of us, especially legacy Newarkers who have been here for generations. Thank you. Mutar. Just leaving the council meeting and sweating. I'm always nervous when I get up there. Well, I was only up there 2 times, but the second time, it was a little bit easier. I did stumble on a couple of words, and I'm gonna get better. And I admit, I didn't practice as much this time as I did the first time because I thought I had it. I was trying to swag, I was trying to have too much swag, but next month, I'll be back. So I just wanted to come get that on record so everybody know I came here and I presented the plan to the city first. And now it's time to hit the streets and do some groundwork so everyone knows about Newark 30. Clean up, everybody everywhere. Clean up, everybody do your shit.
I know.
So they say the reason people do not keep their neighborhoods clean is because they don't have ownership. Little dog poop. Yo, watch out for the dog poop, y'all. Cause it's a lot out here.
Nah, if a park looked like this in West Orange, they would call an emergency meeting immediately on a Sunday during church, probably.
People are frustrated with the government, and I don't think many people can distinguish their federal government from their local government. So if they see Trump out there wilding, that's what they think the whole entire government is. But local government is where it's at. That's where you have more direct influence over your quality of life. So it's really important that we stay engaged locally, because if we don't, it's just gonna be trash everywhere like it is now. You know what, man, if y'all elect me, I'm gonna show our residents how to have some pride. How to have some, look, poop. Oh my God, dog. Yo. No, but how am I supposed to clean if it's poop every 2 seconds? Jesus, I need you. Jesus, I need you. Come on, guys, why y'all freaking letting y'all dogs poop in this freaking nice-ass park?
Really embarrassing because how small this park is.
Yeah.
It should literally be clean.
I know.
So that's what I was saying. I didn't know, like, who is in charge of these little parks.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of them in Newark, and they get no attention to low attention.
I feel like things gonna get better though. There's more people that's speaking up and doing things, so I think that's what's gonna take. It's gonna take the people. Yeah, like I don't think our government is gonna get it, because they doing their own thing.
Yeah, they worried about everybody else, and that's what I wanted to say too. I wanted to say like how I was able to reach out to you, like you are reachable.
Yeah.
Everybody else who I see that's running, I ain't seen them in the bay nowhere. I done ran into you 4 different times. You would have thought we had trackers on each other. Because that means you outside. That's where we're at. That's where the young voters are at. They're outside. You're outside. Like, that really should be your campaign. Jhamar Youngblood, I'm outside.
I promise to announce the winner at the State of the City tonight. So, they don't know, but the winner is Blast Chat, a mobile app by Jhamar Youngblood. Now, Jhamar is 28 and was born and raised on Clinton Avenue. He is the product of Newark Public Schools. He attended Monmouth University and Dartmouth College. Jhamar's app, Blast Chat, will let residents blast out a phone alert similar to an Amber Alert to summon help from users nearby, friends, and the police. Blast Chat was started in 2015 in Military Park on the city's free Wi-Fi network. And it will go live on June 1st. This is Newark Forward.
Ras Baraka did not need to prove his Newark credentials. He was born in them. Son of legendary poet and activist Amiri Baraka, Ras grew up in the South Ward surrounded by music, protests, and politics. He went to Howard University, returned to Newark to teach, became principal of Central High School, and later served as city councilman. When he ran for mayor the second time in 2014 with the slogan, "When I become mayor, we become mayor," Baraka presented himself not just as a candidate, but as a cultural force grounded in Newark's identity. But some longtime activists like Donna Jackson argued that the reality did not fully match the promise, with the lead and water crisis serving as the most visible example of where they believe the administration fell short.
The scenes reminiscent of the Flint, Michigan water crisis.
We are in panic mode in this city because the feds had to come in to tell us to stop drinking the water.
In 2016 and again in 2017, Newark's drinking water was found to contain dangerous levels of lead in several parts of the system, including at dozens of public schools. Lead levels in some homes tested far above the federal action limit of 15 parts per billion, with certain samples exceeding 200, 500, and even 900 parts per billion, levels that pose serious risks to children's neurological development and long-term health. By 2019, the situation had escalated enough that the city had to distribute bottled water to residents, and Newark entered a formal agreement with the Environmental Protection Agency to accelerate corrosion control treatment and replace thousands of lead service lines across the city. And in 2024, federal prosecutors opened an investigation after discovering that some contractors lied about removing lead pipes, claiming they were replaced when they were still in the ground. The deception raised serious questions about oversight and renewed fears about the long-term health risks residents may still be facing. There was also the embarrassment of the sister city fiasco involving a made-up nation called Kailasa.
Earlier this year, Mayor Ras Baraka invited what he thought was the Hindu nation of Kailasa to Newark City Hall for a cultural trade agreement. But it turns out Kailasa is no nation at all. It's a fake.
Very embarrassing for the city.
I truly don't even have words for it. I'm really sorry for the city that they got duped in that way.
Though it has a detailed website, Kailasa has no real government. It's the brainchild of Swami Nityananda, a notorious scam artist and fugitive from India who has been on the run from rape charges since 2019.
Whose job was it to do a simple Google search, right? As you said, like, no one in City Hall, not one person did a Google search. So maybe we need a transformation of City Hall because not one person said, let me go on Google and figure out this was a fake city.
The agreement was quickly rescinded, but the incident raised new questions about oversight inside City Hall and how such a partnership had been approved in the first place. But Baraka's most widely recognized achievement was bringing an activist voice into the mayor's office.
We need you to get involved because it's about we. It's not about I. It's about we. We taking I and throwing it in the garbage can of history. It's about we. It's about collectivity. It's about all of us together in every ward, in every neighborhood, in every family, wherever we are.
His public defense of immigrant communities drew national attention and helped raise Newark's profile. Supporters saw moral leadership. Critics believe he was using those moments to promote himself. When he later ran for governor of New Jersey, his message shifted to a statewide audience, and many residents felt he was leaving Newark behind, just like his friend Cory Booker. He didn't win, and the campaign left residents debating whether Newark was still his top priority. Many residents felt that, instead of staying focused on the daily realities of native Newarkers, he began aligning himself more with the broader Democratic national agenda.
I'm glad we had this opportunity to talk. And before we start on the topic, I just wanted to let you know that I'm meeting with the station manager tomorrow.
Okay.
I have a bunch of questions and topics I want to talk about with them. And obviously the access to the station late at night is one of them. So you were at the Lackawanna Coalition meeting last Monday.
Yep.
But I'm not sure to understand if you're a member or if you were just here to attend the meeting.
Yeah. So, all right. So what happened is there are a few members that reached out to me because no one else.
So members of this coalition?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't call them desperate, but it's like they're just like, what else can we do? So that's why I came and I attended just so I can see if there's something I can do to help them, get this resolved or at least get some type of answers because I think that's what they want. They want answers as to like what's going on.
Why did they reach out to you specifically about this issue?
Well, it's because I'm running for city council and I think, yeah, exactly. So if I can use whatever type of influence I have to bring some light to this issue to help them get it resolved because again, they're just at a point where they just like, they don't know what else to do. This door has been closed for a very long time now. This isn't nothing new. This was the first time I knew that there were other people actually doing something about it.
So it's the first time that you hear that the Lackawanna Coalition is actually, complaining as well.
Exactly.
They're making it a topic on their agenda.
Exactly. So then once I heard that and they reached out, I'm like, oh, okay, this is this is something real. Let me see if I can try to help further this.
Did you see any response to these customer complaints? Or was there any official response from NJT about this topic?
We received your concern. We know what's happening, and it's like we will look into it. That's it.
That's right. Okay, so you haven't seen anything else apart from that response?
Exactly.
Nothing with details. Okay.
And again, this door has been closed for a very long time. So I can only imagine how many other people have these same sentiments.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's 5:30 a.m. and I'm on my way to go vote for myself for the first time. I'm on my way to go vote for myself, man. It's an interesting feeling. I've been manifesting this for a while now, and it's finally here.
My brother Youngblood. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Bro? What's up, man? Yeah. Did he get started? Oh, we ready.
This day is a special day. And I want you to revel in it, to embrace it, to feel good about it, to celebrate as much as you can. Go out, eat, have fun, hang out with your Delta friends. It's like 1,000 of them in here. Y'all always rolling deep, boy. Have a conversation with the Congresswoman. She did this before, and she did a good job at it. And then get to work, right? Get to work. The people have been waiting for you. Get to work, get it done. And you know, folks, we're going to do this again very soon.
Finally, some rappers are using common sense and saying F the street.
Oh. My boy Muta.
Peace and blessings, bro. This is your boy Mutal Amin.
My guy, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
All's well, all's well. Let me ask you, I'm hearing that you're running for mayor, but I want to take a step back and ask you a few questions about the previous election that you just ran for.
Damn, man. Clearly, we lost to Amina. Everybody figured she was going to win. She was the front runner since the beginning. But for me, I got 12% of the vote, bro. And I only raised $3,000, and I have volunteers they weren't even part-time. Like at the end of the campaign, I damn near was running it myself because, you know, volunteers just fade off, and especially when you're not paying them. So getting people to work for free, that was interesting. But again, 12% of the vote, and I only raised $3,000. And you compare that to Amina, who got 38% of the vote, and she had the support of the governor-elect Mickey Sherrill through Ras Baraka brother getting that contract to run her campaign in the Essex County, apparently. Again, I don't know. That's just what people saying. And then she had the support of Ras Baraka. And then I also heard she had the support of LaMonica McIver's staff, who was still in City Hall getting paid, even though LaMonica McIver was not there. So despite all that, me running a campaign by myself and only raising that limited amount of money and being up against the machine, getting 12%, I feel like that was kind of crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like that clearly was less than what I was expecting, but when the more I talk about or the more I talk to people and the more I hear their stories about running or what they've seen in the past, they're saying that 12% is kind of crazy. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm ecstatic a little bit that we got more than 1,000 people, about 1,200 people to actually believe in that message that I was pushing.
Absolutely, especially when for the past couple of years, we've on the ward council elections only been receiving upwards of about 2,500 votes. So you got at least half of that. Mm-hmm. And I just want you to be proud of yourself on that right there. Is there anything that you learned in that election that, you know, is going to propel you further for this next upcoming election?
Yeah. The first thing was the volunteers. So getting people to work for free, that is something that I need to figure out, especially if I'm not going to raise millions of dollars. Like right now, Roz has $300,000 raised. And when you look at some of those donors, there are a lot of Cory Booker people. So I'm up against Roz and Cory Booker people. I just want to follow up on a discussion we had a few months ago regarding the overnight access at Newark Penn Station. As you may have heard, our new CEO announced the new initiatives to improve customer experience at hub stations, including Newark. As part of this plan, Chris agreed to open the main door to access Penn Station from Raymond Plaza West. I figured you would be happy to hear, but please understand this piece of the program is technically still a pilot. Oh, snap, we actually got that door open.
Now we about to go see if they actually switch the exits, yo. So this is about to be cool. It can get critical. Life give me lemons, I get cold. Bennett lyrical, I can manifest with the best. I get spiritual. I'm up run for mayor, Brick City. I'm political.
went miracle, cause it's metaphysical. What you mean it's not real? LaMonica assistant came up to me and said, yo, the stuff you post on the internet may have real life consequences. And I'm talking about getting people out of poverty. And then he go on and say, yeah, you post something online and then we stand in this coffee shop and it gets shot up. I looked at him right in his face and I said, if I get shot, that's because the universe want me to get shot. Yup. These dudes are threatening me and they trying to do it like passively, but these still threats, talk about I'm gonna get shot and all this stuff. And then you got this other dude everybody just keep talking about me getting shot. And the reason why that's really scary for me, because when I was younger, I used to always joke like, yo, I'm gonna get assassinated. And that was funny because people would react like, Jhamar, you know you gotta be somebody of stature to get assassinated. Like it's not considered assassination if regular people get shot and murdered. So that was the joke, you know what I mean? And now that I'm getting all these quasi little threats now, it's just weird. It's just weird, bro. Bro, the craziest thing is people saying that the person who murdered Malcolm X was working for Cory Booker campaign. So we have a legit history of legit murdering people. No, hell no. I'm almost convinced that there's more money in these people not solving the problem than actually solving the problem. Because long as there continues to be a problem, then we can keep asking the federal and state for money, for more and more money. Look, entrance closed between 12 and 4 a.m. So they closed this one instead of closing the front one. We got it done, yo. We got it done.
Yeah, we went around down that block and then that street right there. So we got like 6 bags of, 7, 8, we got 8 bags of trash. He said that he's been calling the city for 6 years to trying to get this fixed. And he says every time he calls, they either say, we gonna come fix it or that's not my job. But check out what it is. Look, like there's a legit hole in the street where people put trash.
Like a dumpster.
Exactly, they use it like a dumpster. My name is Jhamar Youngblood and I am running for mayor. Yeah, I'm running for mayor. No, she's over there in the Burgundy. She always goes live on Facebook and she's cleaning the streets, so we just offered to come out. I always tell people we amongst the 1% of cities and towns with a black majority in this country. So if we don't figure out a way to keep people in there.
And then people, you get pushed out, get priced out.
Yep.
And then even when you go, they can't afford.
Yep.
So where they supposed
What we gonna do? What we gonna do? So if you are ever online, my website is Jhamayor, JHAMayor.com.
I'll go write it down.
Yep.
Okay,
So
okay.
JHAMayor.com.
Okay.
Like, do you want to be mayor one day?
Of course. After you're mayor, I'm definitely gonna be maybe 23. I think 23.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely 23. And then I'm gonna vote for mayor
Yeah.
as well. I just want to be mayor.
You can do it, man. You can do it. Because like when I was younger, I just used to think about it a lot. And I think that's why I'm here today, because like when I was younger, that's the only thing I did was think about it. And then I would always come up with ideas on how I could change the city. So I was just like you. I was exactly like you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the big dog here. Y'all thought I was gonna leave Williamsburg without talking greasy? Y'all got me fucked up. My mama was raised in the era when babysitters was selling cocaine and heroin, making money like a broker from Merrill Lynch. To be more, they had to get it out in Maryland. Had the dual stores hanging with the cribs. We connected like a Bluetooth. Bless, show me love, and they always yell so wolf. Flipping birds, flipping chicken heads, chicken bull. Project Pat, Mr. Don't Play. I don't even mean to be brave, and I went to Honolulu. But this shit accomplished I came back.
So you think I'm taking a shot?
I'm a star, Emmitt Smith, number 2. I swear to God, it could get critical. Life gave me lemons, I get cold. Been it lyrical, I can manifest with the best. I get spiritual. I'ma run for mayor, Brick City. I'm political. I'ma win miracle, cause it's metaphysical.